I'm Jamaica Pessoa, and today on TV 411 What's Cooking, we have a cast of billions. We're whipping up some chicken skewers with a tangy parsley yogurt dip served over a bed of fresh baby arugula. And guess who's coming to dinner? Bacteria! Some of the key ingredients in any culinary creation are a pinch of science and a dash of math. It's all right here on TV 411 What's Cooking, where we have cooking down to a science. With me today is my good friend, Robert. What's going on, Robert?
Well, again, another bacteria scare. You have the salmonella in the chicken. You have the E. coli in the lettuce and tomato. What's with all this bacteria in our food?
Whoa, slow down, Robert, okay? Don't give in to bacteria hysteria. Bacteria are single-cell organisms, or microbes, that we can study under a microscope. They've been around for about 4 billion years. Besides salmonella and E. coli, there are millions of species or types of bacteria in the world. Out of all those types of bacteria, only a tiny fraction is pathogenic. That means disease-causing. The truth is, we can't live without bacteria. Bacteria are great recyclers. They break down dead organic matter, like plants and animals, to recycle the elements we need, such as magnesium, potassium, and nitrogen, to grow our food and keep our planet in balance. And without bacteria, we wouldn't have some of the foods we love, like aged cheeses, sauerkraut, and this delicious yogurt dip we're about to make.
You know, I forgot there's bacteria in yogurt.
This spoon is home to more than 1 billion bacteria.
That is a crowded spoon.
We're going to start with 1 cup of yogurt, which is the same as 8 fluid ounces. Also, we're adding 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley, zest of 1 lemon, and some salt and pepper to taste. Why don't you start mixing all that up? Go ahead, get in there.
I'm going.
Here, get a taste.
That's pretty good.
And they're alive. The best yogurt has live bacteria. Check out this label.
You mean these guys? Bulgaricus, Thermophilus, Acidophilus. I mean, these are such long names for such tiny organisms. So I guess it's not fair to think of bacteria only as microbes that make us sick.
Right. There are billions of bacteria on and in our bodies that we couldn't live without. They live on our skin and work to keep it healthy. Billions live in our lower intestine and help us break down hard-to-digest food particles like fiber.
Wow, it's good to have the bigger picture. Or should I say, the microscopic picture.
Go put this in the refrigerator for me. And while you're there, grab the chicken.
You know, I'm starting to like bacteria more and more.
That's fine, but don't ignore the bacteria in the kitchen that can harm us. But we can handle it. Put this down and grab that cutting board for me. I like to use 2 cutting boards in the kitchen simply because I use raw meats and poultry here, and then I cut my fresh vegetables on this one. That way I eliminate the chance of contaminating my fresh vegetables with the bacteria in the raw meat and poultry.
I can see why you want to have good habits in the kitchen, because you want to keep all that bacteria in check.
You got it. Under the right conditions, bacteria multiply. 1 cell grows, then divides in half, making 2 cells. Those 2 cells divide, becoming 4. 4 becomes 8, and so on. It's called exponential growth. The next thing you know, you'll have a colony of millions. And here's the key thing. With most bacteria, the warmer the temperature, the faster they grow, up to a certain point. Some bacteria can live at temperatures near boiling, and others below freezing. Many bacteria, including the pathogenic ones we worry about in the kitchen, like salmonella and E. coli, grow best between 40 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit. That's why the refrigerator is set below 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Say you put 1 bacterium cell in the fridge at around 37 degrees Fahrenheit. After 12 hours, there's still only 1. Because it's so cold, it'll take days for that cell to grow. Now imagine that single-cell bacterium sitting out at room temperature about 72 degrees Fahrenheit. After a few hours, things really start popping. After 12 hours, That single cell has grown into 4,096 cells, and they keep on doubling. On a piece of chicken, you actually start out with millions of bacteria cells. And if you leave that chicken out overnight, by morning, you'll have millions and millions more. So now we're going to start slicing the chicken into strips and come all the way down.
Like this.
There you go. Watch your fingers.
So, no more defrosting meat or poultry on the counter. I mean, you want to defrost it in the fridge and keep it at a safe 37 degrees Fahrenheit?
Safe up to a point. Remember, colder temperatures will only slow down bacteria growth, but you should still use refrigerated meat and poultry within a few days. All right, we got to make the marinade, but first, let's wash our hands. Now it's time to make the marinade. So pour in this bowl 4 tablespoons of lemon juice. I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So that's a 2-to-1 ratio. Cooking is all about ratios. As long as your ingredients are in the right proportion, your dish will always turn out right. I'll show you what I mean. This marinade calls for 4 tablespoons of lemon juice to 2 tablespoons of olive oil.
So that means there's twice as much lemon juice as there is olive oil.
Twice the amount of lemon juice compared to the amount of olive oil. In other words, a ratio of 2 to 1. Now hand me the 3 cloves of minced garlic. And pour that in. Good. 2 tablespoons of fresh chopped parsley. 1/4 teaspoon of red chili flakes. And 2 teaspoons of dried oregano. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Perfect. Add in the chicken. And make sure you toss to coat the chicken strips evenly because we want them all to have the same great flavor. Cover this with plastic wrap and marinate it for about 30 minutes in the fridge. To slow down the bacterial growth, always marinate in the refrigerator and don't let it sit out on the countertop. And just so happens you're in luck, I made some earlier because I figured you'd be hungry.
Yeah, I'm always hungry. And you're always thinking of me, which I like. And now I'm going to think of you. I'm going to get this stuff out of the way.
Ah, thank you. Now we're going to skewer these, and it's really easy. If you notice, I have these skewers soaking in water. When we put the skewers on our grill, the skewers won't burn up.
Good.
So we start with the smaller end of our chicken strip and pierce it all the way through the top and put it right on our grill.
That's the sound I've been waiting for all day.
We'll do a couple more. You keep an eye on those while I go wash my hands.
That's right. Wash your hands.
Yes. Okay, you stop drooling and grab the plates and the arugula out the refrigerator. And yes, I did wash the arugula already. Let me turn this chicken over.
How can you tell when those things are done?
If you are cooking a whole chicken, use a meat thermometer. When the internal temperature reaches 165 degrees Fahrenheit, you'll know you'll be safe from harmful bacteria. For chicken skewers about this size, cook them for 5 minutes on each side. And make sure the meat on the inside is no longer pink. That should take care of those little pesky critters that you're worried about.
Thank you for thinking of me.
Oh, grab the yogurt dip out of the fridge, too. And we'll eat. This is going to be nice. Spoon out a little dip on each plate, and I'll grab the chicken.
It goes on the side, right?
Yes, just right on the side there.
Nice to know those bacteria working hard all around us and inside of us.
Here's to bacteria.
You get it. That was good.
Thanks for joining us for TV 411 What's Cooking, where we have cooking down to a science. For today's recipes and a whole lot more science and math in the kitchen, visit tv411.org.
Hey, you. Give me that.
You're so greedy.
You're not going to eat it. Give it up. Let's go.